We all ready? Tony, first home league match of the season. I suppose it's important to start off in front of your home crowd in a positive note.
Yeah, and I think we finished our last match on a real positive note. You know, the derby away against Dundee United. I thought we finished the game really strong, and the support was fantastic at the end of that game. So hopefully they'll be there, they'll be vocal again, and we can take on from where we left off at Tannadice, and it can be a good start, as you say, to a league campaign at home.
It was quite a slow start to the game for you on Sunday. How do you change that this weekend? Because you are at home, obviously, and you're coming up against a Hearts team who were very, very good in the first half.
Yeah. Listen, we analysed that game and we've put it to bed now, but there's a lot of things that we identified. I think what was very apparent is a lot of boys hadn't played in that derby. I think only Simon Murray and Jordan McGee out of my starting team. So, yeah, there was a wee bit of, boys were maybe caught up a wee bit in the first half, but once we addressed things and got together, I thought it was a very strong second half performance that probably should have won us the game. But so now it's moving on, it's moving on to the next game, and as you say, it's against a Hearts team who, having watched them, I thought they had a really strong performance against Rangers, and we know we need to be our best, we need to bring our best game. But this time last year we played Hearts at home and we were successful in that game, so we'll be endeavouring to do the same again.
Do you think Hearts are a stronger squad than they were 12 months ago?
I think time will tell. It's like my squad as well. My squad at the moment, if I look at the first game of the season last year against Motherwell and the first game of the season, which was Dundee United away, there's only 8 remaining players from that squad of 20 there. So similar to Hearts, it's a real revamped squad. Within that squad that I had there, the starting team had 5 under 21. So, we're really, really busy in terms of the recruitment and trying to revamp squads. So time will tell. I think there's a lot of players that are brought in. Some will still be brought in between now and the end of the transfer window. And it's important to try and get that period where they gel together as well. So I think I've got a real answer to that after a round of games.
Your managerial career runs parallel to Stephen's. Just 12 months ago, you both were given your first jobs. Can you look at Stephen's achieved at Hearts in the first 12 months of his career and maybe learn something from yourself?
I don't know about learn, but I'm really close with Nazy. We speak a lot because we have got that, that kind of kinship that we both started at the same time, new managers, and we shared experiences. And listen, I've got the highest regard for Nazy as a player. He worked with me in Scotland under Gordon Strachan, so I know Nazy anyway, but because the two had started at the same time, I think he'd done a fantastic job last year, absolutely brilliant, and to keep the standards that he kept throughout the season. So yeah, there is there's a relationship between us, and I see what he's doing. I like the way he manages, I like the way he speaks, I like the style of play he's got in his team, and I think there's a lot of similarities. So listen, I'm only interested in my team. Of course, he's as I say, he's a colleague, and he's somebody that I would share things with. But it's making sure that my team, a year on now, we had a decent season last year, but that's history, and now it's looking forward to this campaign. And with a revamped squad, trying to make sure that there's always improvement and progress for whatever I do as a manager. So that's the ambition this year.
Don't you talk about players coming into your squad, speculation about a player who could believe in the squad? How are you dealing with the speculation around Luke McCowan?
Listen, Luke McCowan's our player, and he's a brilliant boy. I've got a really special relationship with Luke. So, as happens in this industry, when you're doing well and had a good season, along with a lot of other players, I've got to say, in my squad, of course you're going to attract suitors. But at the moment, it's speculation. Luke's a Dundee a Dundee player, and he's my captain at the moment, and he leads by example, and he does that every day, and he's continuing to do that. And until I'm told different, he'll be my player, and that relationship will continue.
Can you tell us if there's been any bids for him?
Not to date, not that I'm aware of. Nothing that's been brought to my attention. He might have went to the club, but certainly as manager, there's been nothing brought to my attention.
Is transfer speculation something you're having to learn to deal with as a manager?
Not really. No, I think if you do get involved in that, there's so much speculation. I'll get 8 or 9 names a day thrown at me, but until anything's factual, I won't get involved in it. And I'll let you guys know. And that's transfers in and out. So that's what happens in this industry. There's loads of rumour and speculation. I think I'm quite objective. I think you deal with fact, and that's the case now.
How many more players do you think will we add?
Well, again, I've said all through that recruitment process, I wouldn't put a number on that. I know what I need, and I'm identifying. I think you need to remember that although I've got a real strong core from last year, and what I need to do is I need to make sure that I can enhance that core of players, and improve it. And I'll only do that if it's the right ones and it's the right areas and it's the right type of person. I've always said it's not just the footballer you sign, it's the person, and it's how that person fits into your dressing room and fits into your, the way you do things, your philosophy. So we're very, very robust in that recruitment process, and will continue to be so. So rather than put a number on it, and I've said all along, it's not about quantity, it's about the quality, and it's how it's going to improve and develop my existing squad.
Tony, I like quite a feverish build-up to a Dundee derby, first game of the season. Is there maybe a little bit more calm this week going into your first game against Hearts?
You're right in saying that. There was a derby's a massive thing, and I think it was a brilliant fixture for Scottish football, a brilliant fixture for the City of Dundee, and it's two institutions, two real traditional good clubs going at it. So of course, now the dust has settled that wee bit, but now right round the corner we've got a live game in Premier Sports against Hearts, who, as I said, are a fantastic team, had a great season last year. We had a decent season as well, so it just starts ramping up again now. But the important bit from my point of view is to make sure that the players are laser focused in the game. They can't get caught up in any of the surroundings. I thought we suffered a little bit from that last week, so it's important that we just focus on the game. We've been working all week in a game plan, and we've identified in Hearts, they've got a lot of strengths, but they've also got weaknesses, so it's important that we try and negate the strengths and exploit the weaknesses. And if we do that and we carry out that game plan, we'll give ourselves every chance of taking points.
As you said, on the TV, Saturday evening, a little bit more of an unusual time slot, a bit of a prime time slot there. Does that change your approach? Does that change your players' approach?
Not really. It's only a couple of hours later, and we're professional. You learn to adapt to whatever you do. It was a game on Sunday we had there, so it's just in terms of your working week, making sure that you're ready. But no, the staff and the players, we're all professional. We know we'll play when we need to play, but there's not much that a difference, only a couple of hours in that game, so nah.
What is the team news ahead of Saturday's match?
Team news, the injuries we've got at the moment, Clark Robertson is still out, as is Charlie Riley, and obviously long term is Joe Shaughnessy, but out with that, I've got a clean bill of health.
And what kind of challenge do you expect from Hearts when you face them?
A really difficult game. I've watched a few of their games through pre-season, and I watched their Rangers game. I thought they performed really, really well. I think there's a real impressive style of play. The Hearts have got. They're very attacking. They're very front foot in terms of the way they play. I think we had brilliant games against Hearts last year. The first game, as I say, we managed to beat them at Dens. The next two games we played, it was won by the odd goal, and really either team could have won that. But I thought for the neutral, they were really, really entertaining games, because they're two teams, and I think that's probably down to the manager, that the both managers, that we both want to win that game. And I think you've seen in both those games, or in the three of them, including the first one as well, there was a lot of tactical changes within the game, because you're always trying to get the better of the opposition. So I expect it to be a tough game. I expect it to be quite a tactical game, in terms of whatever team trying to execute their game plan better than the other. But I think it'll be a brilliant game. It's getting covered on TV, and for the supporters as well. I think it'll be a brilliant game, because it's two teams that have got a really attractive style of play and are very much gung-ho going to try and win the game.
And how confident are you can repeat what you did last season and beat them at Dens?
I'm always confident every game. I've always said that I want to establish a squad and a team that are competitive in every match, and that's every match throughout the campaign. And we just played one there, and I thought we were extremely competitive in that one. There's areas we can do better, and it'll be the same in this one. As I said, we've analysed Hearts, we've looked at them all week, we've worked in our training all week in terms of executing a game plan, and it's now just making sure that you do all you can to execute that game plan. And as I say, Hearts will be doing the same thing. But I think it bodes well for being a really entertaining match.